So let's start with the login. We've booted our router that has a basic configuration on it, so it's not going to prompt us for setup mode. If basic configuration is in place, when we plug the router into the console port, it will tell us that router console 0 is now available. Press return or enter to get started with the router. Now when we press return, this new prompt is displayed. I want to stress something about the iOS. iOS, or the Internet Network Operating System, really doesn't change on a Cisco router. All the Cisco routers run exactly the same operating system. Now some routers are faster and have different interfaces and features, but the core operating system is identical on every single Cisco router. This means that once you learn these commands, you'll be very comfortable with every Cisco router you come across, because you're going to see the exact same thing over and over again. Well, one of the keys to the iOS and learning iOS is the context. You have to remember that where you are is the key to what you can execute. On the screen here for router login, we actually see three separate contexts. The first context that you're presented with is the context right here that is indicated by the name of the router, which by default is router, and this context is indicated by the greater than sign. Now this particular context is known as user mode. You can do very basic things with this mode, like showing the configuration to an extent that's very limited. You can ping or telnet from here, but you really can't do much to this router until you get past this context. So typically, we'll stay in user mode for very little time. The first thing that we're going to do to log in with the router is to use the enable command. This command enables a new mode or a new context, which is indicated by the # or the octothorpe, which is known as the privilege mode. This is considered to be the root of privilege mode. Once I've enabled the router, I can use show commands. You're going to see tons of show commands in the course that will give you information about your current configuration. So the primary thing that I'm going to do here at the root of privilege mode is to familiarize you with the show commands. I can also do a few other things from here, like ping, telnet, save my configuration, backup my configuration, reload my router, and so on. We're going to see these one after the other as the course proceeds.